tattoos right here on your hand. Like, people are gonna see that.
Yeah.
You had a wedding. There's gonna be a huge special on E. Like, you're making these large life choices, and it just doesn't even seem like you. There's no way.
Well, they did do one thing right. It was not a lower back tattoo. So no tramp stamp or the tramp stamp of the thousands, the upper neck tattoo.
This is like the meth stamp, though.
The meth stamp, yeah.
Like, I don't know, I always see like
this
people
feels
that are
like
cracked
jail.
out, like all over, like gangsta, or like
Yep, thug life.
Thug life.
Yeah, or like
Mama,
they should just get like. I think people get it.
Yeah. So, did you guys hear Chris Brown is going on his fan appreciation tour?
Oh.
Well,
Air quotes and all.
apparently he's still got fans.
In 15 cities. That's pretty good.
I mean, he just released.
Fans have been abused.
I don't know. I just downloaded his new single and it's good. And hey, like I said, you know what? The guy made poor life choices, but his music's still good, so I'm still gonna listen to it.
Isn't it kind of weird though that he's putting something out there? Like Chris Brown and Rihanna are releasing their CD on the same week.
You think it's a coincidence?
I think in the future we're gonna have a reconciliation.
Yeah. There's another way to battle.
I don't want them getting back together. You screwed up.
Well, you shouldn't get back together with somebody that beat you legitimately.
Look at Whitney. Look at Whitney.
Yeah,
we
Whitney's
talked about
not.
her in the past. She's been spit on, hit.
Does Rihanna want to be spit on? I don't think so. Slapping's enough.
You're not allowed to hit Princess Riri.
It's a fact. Why would you want to?
Crack is whack.
I mean, even like just speaking of like releasing records, Lindsay Lohan got dropped from hers. Casablanca totally dropped her from the record company.
Well, this is a person that like went to rehab and is apparently back out on the club circuit. It's like we've all seen the photos. She doesn't look like she's 22, 3, whatever.
She looks all one color.
Yeah.
Like her hair, her outfit, and some of the pictures we looked at earlier, and her skin tone, just everything
It's like
is
a Lady
all
Gaga
one
costume, but it's real.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's real.
Slim Jim is back.
She's a real girl.
Jim.
No, I just think it's goofy. I think that girl needs to pack it up, like fly under the
Leave the
radar for a
country.
while. Yes, get some rehabilitation. Get a little, support for her spray tan addiction.
Yeah,
like,
the
she
fire-
needs help.
The fire crotch needs to come back. That is what made her.
What?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. She looked a lot better with red hair.
I really think maybe we should start like a save the Lindsay Lohan campaign.
Let's make a fan page.
Yes,
Save
we'll put it on
Lilo.
Facebook right next to Farmville.
Oh.
Well, I mean, even though like we have one girl who's going the bad way. Like Britney Spears came back full
She's
speed.
doing
She
good.
has another #1 hit.
She is a hot MILF. I'm sorry, she came back. People thought she was gonna be a hot mess forever. Shaves her head, beating SUVs with like umbrellas, Ellas, like Rihanna. Then she pops out a couple kids. Bam.
Hottie.
She hit us more than a few times.
It's mind blowing. She's back and she has #1 hits.
I know. And
Up next, we're gonna take a look at the brand new art beat. Let's check it out.
My name is Molly Agner, and I'm a senior fine arts major. The reason why I like art so much is because it's not just something that's aesthetically pleasing or super intense, but it's a way for me to get my feelings or just day-to-day feelings, whether it's like I'm super stressed out or sad, onto cement or paper or anything, and it's just like an emotional way to deal with my feelings. And so in a sense, some of the work that I do, the cement blocks, are for a family member that passed away, and I'm gonna like submerge them in dirt and then have a bunch of them outline the grave at a cemetery. And so I feel like when I do the artwork, I'm thinking about that person, or I'm really like getting in touch with. It's almost like a spiritual feel when you think about someone else, something bigger than yourself or your emotions. It's kind of like a very personal experience, art is. The cement blocks are an ongoing project that I have in my sculpture class, and it's essentially you build kind of this case for the cement to go in. They're like 2 feet by 2 feet, and then you mix cement by using cement mix and water and mixing it together. And if you get it on your hands for too long, it can almost leave like a sunburn feeling, and it hurts a lot. So you have to be conscious of like the timing and when you mix it and how you mix it. Like, you want to make sure your hands aren't super in it. And then you pour, well, you have to like think of a concept. So my concept was someone's sister that passed away, and so I wrote sister out of clay, and you have to do it all backwards on the ground because you have a reverse image of it after you lay the cement down. So I wrote out sister backwards out of clay, mixed my cement and poured it on top, and let it dry for 48 hours. And then you take the relief off, flip it over, and you have to like get these carving tools and carve out all the clay, and then it leaves that impression of what you made out of clay. And any texture, anything, the cement's gonna really stick onto and show a lot of detail. And then, you know, the crayons is a whole new world I've just been introduced to. It's kind of fun because it takes you back to that childhood of playing with crayons, and how does that become like translated into your work? How do people view crayons? How is the sun gonna affect the crayons? You really have to think about what materials you use, how people view them, and the significance and what you're trying to portray in your piece, how it all fits together. The paintings that I do painting is my favorite medium, but I typically like to do practice paintings to practice on technique and how different colors and styles work together. So this particular piece is reminiscent of ribbons, essentially, and how they work, the depth perception, and how you can really get the motion flowing of a piece. You can really get your eye to follow something in a certain way purposely. And so with this piece, I wanted to see how different colors interact with each other, how the ribbons, the different dynamics that you can make them swirl or manipulate them to look differently, and how they interact with each other. So this piece was really just one to get my mind thinking about other concepts and how I can introduce this ribbon idea in other paintings. It's very stylistic and experimental. And I'm Molly Agner. Thanks for joining me in the art building, and back to the studio.
All right, Pullman, that's all we've got for you tonight. Thanks for joining us here on The Mix, and we'll see you next time.